Hello and welcome to another episode of It's Just Our Opinion. Appreciate you turning in. This is our first show since the new year, 2020 is here. We've been busy with family holiday get-togethers and vacationing and everything, so we really hadn't had a show since back in right before Christmas. So I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you watching. I hope if you like this, I hope you'll share it with your friends and let other people know about it. You know, everything we say on here is just our opinion. Some of it's funny, some of it's not, but what's funny, we laugh at. What we don't, we still laugh because it's our show. Today we're going to talk about a subject that a lot of people need to talk about, especially me if you'll look at me some here. We're going to talk about hair care. We have with us a very special guest here today, Patty Brown. Patty, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We appreciate you coming in. Patty, one of the stylists here at Rock, Paper, Scissors here in Summerville, Alabama. One of the popular spots here in the area. So we thought we'd have her come on and just talk about hair care and things that people need to know about when they want to take care of the hair. Patty, how long have you been in the hair business?
I have been doing hair for 16 years.
16? You don't even look like you're 16 years old. How can you be doing hair? But that is really good. Well, this Rock, Paper, Scissors that you've been at. Now, how long have you been doing this?
This will be my 4th year.
4th year, and so pretty busy. You stay busy all the time.
I do, most of the time.
Well, just it's not really an ad for Rock, Paper, Scissors or even Patty. It's just, but go ahead and tell us if somebody wanted to get an appointment with you, what would they need to do to get an appointment to come and let you touch their hair and trim it and do what they need to do with it?
You can either find me on Facebook at Patty Cottle Brown, or you can call the hair salon at 256-754-5400.
And this anytime, I mean, if they can go online, I guess, anywhere here and fix it.
Yeah,
Or,
you can go to the Rock, Paper, Scissors Facebook page and you can actually book your own appointment.
well, that's good. And you can also, I guess you can, when you do that, you can say when their openings are.
Yeah.
I mean, so you can't just have to guess and say, I want a 2 o'clock when 2 o'clock's full.
Right.
You just work around it. Well, that's kind of neat. When I was growing up, which several years ago, haircut and stuff was a lot different. What we would do, we'd get up on like a Saturday morning, go to the barbershop and sit and wait till our turn.
Yeah.
And people, as they got up, we moved down a chair and finally get over there. But it's totally different now. You actually have to have appointments. And a lot of women had appointments then too. But I remember my mom going with her some when I was young, and we'd go and just sit. Some days we'd sit all day, but she'd come out with that hair pooped up before we left. Because they worked all day, and I guess y'all do that too still.
Yeah.
So, well, tell us what made you get in the hair business.
I just like doing hair.
Well, that's a good reason. You never want to do anything you don't like to do. So if you like doing hair, that's a good thing to be in. So that's really good. Tell us when somebody calls you and asks for an appointment. I mean, tell me kind of the steps you go through when they say, Patty, can I get an appointment with you? Do you?
Well, I have an appointment book on my phone through an app. So I just look to see what I have available and compare it to when they can come.
I mean, do you ask them, so now have you made a mess of your hair? Has your kid been cutting them with the scissors with it? Or
I've never asked that before.
You've never asked? I mean, how many times have you had people call and say, Patty, I need help. I tried to dye my own hair and it has turned out terrible.
It happens often.
Now, what kind of advice do you give folks when they do that, when they call?
One, don't do that.
Don't do it. And I know being in the business like this, you always have to be serious. You never can just say, well, you already knew better than that. You should have come to a professional to start with. I know you can't say that.
No, I usually don't say that because they have figured that out already.
They figured that out.
Yeah.
So you show a lot of compassion, and really, I bet it's not just showing. I bet you really have a lot of compassion
Oh yeah,
for
I feel
people
sorry for them.
when they mess their hair up. I mean, is that pretty regular? You see that pretty regular?
Yeah.
So when people decide they want to go to Walmart and get their own dye and come in and do their own stuff, if somebody asks you what's your opinion on that, what would you say?
I just tell them that I don't really have an opinion. There's nothing I can recommend that they do. It's just better that
You don't just tell them, don't do it, come to me. That's kind of what you want to say anyway.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have to learn the hard way. They have to learn. They want to get out and do their own. and they make those mistakes, and then they come to professionals like you to get it taken care of, and so,
And color corrections are expensive.
oh, are they? It
Yeah.
takes a while to get the dye out.
Well, yeah, typically color corrections are charged by the hour, 40, 50, 60 plus an hour.
Oh,
And usually it's 3, 4, 5 plus hours.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
You know, now, I would never recommend this, but just as a guy, you know, it may be cheaper just to shave your head and let it start over and just buy you a wig. You never advise nobody to do that, I'm
I
sure.
never,
That would be bad for business, so anyway, wouldn't it? But have you ever had anybody come in where maybe they had tried to trim their own hair and it was all kind of sideways and everything? What do you tell them? I mean, what's the first reaction when you come in and see you say, "Oh my goodness, why did you do that?" Or do you say, "What happened, ma'am?"
oh, let me see what I can do to fix that.
Okay. But I'm sure you don't say that very often, though, do you? Most women probably don't want to trim their own hair.
All women trim their bangs.
Oh, do they? They trim, yeah. Well, and that's good. You know, I would probably trim mine if I had any, but you know, most of mine is left through the years. But now I don't even try to trim the sides. I just kind of let that go. But what are some? I mean, without saying names, we never want to name anybody when we're talking about hair because hair is real personal. But what's some of the wild experiences that you've seen come into your shop through the years?
The most recent thing that I've seen is a young girl actually shaved her widow's peak.
Her widow's peak.
Yeah, the pointy piece of hair in the front.
See, I have learned something today, and I believe all my viewers have learned. I did not know what a widow's peak was. I was thinking maybe somebody died and they'd shaved to somebody that's the little part right here is called a widow's. And
Yeah, when your hair grows into a point right here, that's called a widow's peak.
Well, that's neat. I didn't know that. So how did you correct that part?
Oh, well, it was growing back. It was growing back. It was like stubbly hair, so we cut bangs to
Okay.
cover it up.
To cover. Well, that's neat. You know, but when hair's short like mine, you can't do a lot with it. But when you know, like women's hair and stuff, you can actually use the other hair to cover a lot of stuff up if there's some mistakes done to try to get people through the tough times, I guess. And I'm sure that happens a lot, and we just never know it, you know. So, you know, that's a lot can happen with hair care. You know, tell us about shampoos and stuff. Now, you know, I'm a cheap guy. I like to go to Walmart or Dollar General or somewhere and get just some basic stuff. And you know, and I mix mine. Mine always it comes mixed. It's shampoo and conditioner together. I'm sure being a professional, you don't recommend that.
I don't, because usually there's more shampoo or conditioner there's one that's more than the other.
Now, what without a name, we don't want to advertise for anybody here, unless y'all want to send us some donations in. But what do you look for in a shampoo?
A professional product. And I like to switch up things. I like to try different things.
Now, a lot of people kind of, I think it's really, they don't really understand. They think the higher the price the shampoo, the better the shampoo.
That's not necessarily true.
He found that's not true at all. Why do you think some shampoos, you can go in a store and find shampoo for, you know, like $30 for a bottle, or you can go to Walmart and get it for $1.10. Well, and a lot of times it's the same stuff. If you look at the ingredients, maybe one or two things different. Why do you think people, how do they make that choice to go with that $30 when they could buy this?
Well, first of all, if you're gonna pay for hair color, it's better to protect your investment by buying a good quality shampoo.
But now what do you look for in a shampoo? We know
What
the
do I
price.
look
You know,
for?
the price is not really that big because you know you can put a high price on anything. What do you actually when you turn over and look for ingredients? What do you really look for as a professional? What do you look for when you choose a shampoo?
I like more natural ingredients. I don't like fillers and sulfates and parabens and things like that.
So that's where you can look at that on the ingredients. What about conditioners? I mean, I've always, again, I'm a guy. Yeah, I've always thought all conditioners are probably the same. Is anything to that, or
About the same with shampoos. I don't like the fillers.
the fillers? So conditioners have fillers and stuff too. Well, that's neat. Like I say, it's people like me that's been used to this dollar stuff from Walmart. Not just Walmart. I'm not advertising just for Walmart here. Let's go on to Dollar General too. We actually go there and buy some stuff. But you know, if you're really serious about your hair, really serious, you probably don't go to the dollar store to buy you shampoo. You order it from the salons maybe, or maybe some of the professional stores or something, and that's probably better quality, and probably better for your hair.
Better ingredients.
Well, what about you know, the shampoos? We talked about shampoos. We talked about conditioners. What is, you know, a lot of people. I mean, we're kind of touching a lot of bases here, but a lot of people have old scalpy heads. What would you know? I mean, what would you advise somebody that, you know, when we was growing up, we call it dandruff. You know, I always had these commercials, people wiping their shirt, but you know, that's not real. We don't do that anymore. But people do have sometimes, you know, flaky heads and stuff. What would you recommend for that? Not a specific product, but what kind of treatment and stuff to get that under control to where, you know, it won't be all over your shoulders.
There are scalp treatments that you can use, and serums and things like that you can put on your scalp.
So is it like syrup or something? Or,
Well, not quite syrup.
but it's something that kind of absorbs in your head and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure y'all sell that products too
We
at
do.
Rock Paper Scissors. And so if anybody watching this has any questions about what shampoo to use and stuff, you know, we don't really want to advertise names on here, but you're welcome to call Rock Paper Scissors at 754-5400, of course, area code 256, and ask for Patty. I'm sure you can give them some good advice on what you would use. And coloring's the same way. You know, we just don't want anybody to go to Walmart or somewhere and buy their color, and we want them to come to a professional if they really want it to look good.
That's right.
And so, what about the average time? You know, like guys, we kind of just every couple of weeks we like to go get a little trim and stuff. But you know, women put a lot into their hair, so and it's more expensive than a guy's hair. So, how long does that last? I mean, how often do you see people circulating in and out? I mean, a couple of weeks, 3 months, 2 months.
I'd say 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
So, okay, so not many women at all come every 2 weeks.
No.
It's usually 3 or 4 weeks, and then they rotate out. Well, that's interesting. Like I say, I like mine about every 2 weeks if I can fit it in. You know, I'm like everybody else. Now I have to get an appointment. I can't just walk in like I did when I was young and just sit all day. I probably could, I guess, but I may not get waited on. But I'm sure you wouldn't leave nobody sitting there and just, you know, if somebody come and sit all day, you'd probably take
I'd
care
do
of it.
my best.
But you never have that. What about, I know we kind of mentioned this, but do you have any walk-ins at all that come in?
We do have some, but that's just if we have time.
But you prefer them not to, you prefer them to go
We prefer an appointment.
Yeah. Well, that is neat. So this is a lifelong dream. You've loved cutting hair, doing it for 16 years. And so you have seen a lot of mess ups, a lot of slip ups, a lot of just disasters, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
Now, do you ever think, I mean, you stylists sitting around talking, do y'all ever just talk about, well, let me tell you what happened in 2013. This lady come in. Do y'all talk like that? You don't give names though.
No.
No names, because you never know when somebody might know somebody, and they'll say, well, you know, Patty was talking about my hair up there, but that's probably kind of interesting. I'm sure that many years you've seen a lot of different things happen with people's head. Now what about this? Now this is if somebody comes in and they've got maybe lice or something. I mean, what's the first thing that you recommend? Because I know in a business like that, it happens, it has to happen, I know, because, you know, even people that may not even know they have lice may have it, but then when they come in, what do you recommend for that? What do y'all
For
usually
lice,
do?
well, we can't do anything for lice according to state board rules. It's actually a rule.
Okay,
If somebody has lice, we cannot do anything with their hair. And if we do have somebody with lice, we have to sanitize everything. We have to sanitize combs. I mean, thoroughly sanitize. I mean, it's a big deal.
so it probably don't happen too often, I'm sure.
It
I mean, in reality, we probably know that anybody that knows that they've got lice or something's probably not gonna come to a public hair salon.
Right.
But I figure out of that many years, you probably had a few folks that did come in and not know,
Mhm.
that they had issues, so y'all are always real discreet, I'm sure, and ease them out quick, and you don't scream and holler and tell everybody to jump back, you don't do any of
No.
that.
No.
But, what about, is there anything else that you just wanna tell us about in the hair business? I mean, that's a big business. I mean, everybody has hair, even bald guys have hair on the sides. So, you know, you gotta take care of it. I mean, it's something that, it's a service. It's not really a job. It's a service, taking care of people to make them look good and to make them look professional and to make them feel good about themselves. So, anything else you wanna tell us about the business at all?
Can't think of anything.
Can't think. Evidently, you love your job, though.
I
You've
do.
gotta do it for 16 years. You love your job. And, like I say, you get to meet a lot of people. Now, this is something here that, you know, it can't be a secret, because we're actually gonna be on Facebook Live here, not live, but for everybody to see. But do you hear much gossip in a barber shop, a beauty shop?
I do.
Do you think it's as much gossip goes on there as it did the old country stores years ago, when people would go and sit at the country stores
Mhm.
for hours at a time and talk?
People will tell their hairstylist things that they don't tell other people.
Well, and I don't want you to disclose any of those too. I know that's stuff that you have to keep quiet.
It's top
but-
secret information.
Top secret. But you have to, I guess after so many trips in and stuff, you kind of bond with your customers, though. You really get to feel like family, I guess. And that's a good thing about having one place to go. You get you a stylist and you go to over and over, and you get that bond, and really a lot of folks, I'm sure, come in and don't even have to tell you what they want. You know what they want when they come in.
Mhm.
So they just sit down and you go to work on them. Well, that is neat. Well, anything else you want to tell us before we close out the show?
If you'd like to make an appointment, just call me at rock, paper, scissors, 256-754-5400.
Or they can go online.
Or online on the Rock, Paper, Scissors Facebook page, and you can book your own appointment.
All righty. Well, Patty, I sure appreciate you coming on the show today. Hey, we've learned a lot. I didn't even know about the widow's crown, or widow's point, I believe. Peak, widow's peak. See, I'm still learning, but I've never heard that before. But we learned a lot. And like I say, if you need a haircut, need a perm or anything like that, you do all of that, I'm sure.
I do.
Look up Patty here at Rock, Paper, Scissors, 256-754-5400. Thank you again for coming on the show. I hope you've enjoyed this. Pass it around to your family and friends. Share it with everybody you know. I appreciate you watching this, and a lot of this stuff, is not just opinion. It's actually true, but most of it that we went through today is just our opinion. Thank you.